I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
So we are together going to find out what is the cause of conflict, the core, the root of it. And of course, if you admit that conflict is inevitable, it's natural, because human beings for the last millennia have lived in conflict, so why shouldn't we also? That kind of argument is rather, if I may say, rather silly and inept. But if one could go into examine, perceive, have an insight into the causation of conflict, and then perhaps that will end. To discover the cause, it's not a process of analysis. Analysis implies, doesn't it, the analyzer and the analyzed, right? The one who says, I must find the cause of this conflict, and then he begins to investigate as though it was something outside of him, then he analyzes that. Is not the analyzer the analyzed? Please go into this with a little bit, if you will. We're asking, is not the analyzer, or put it differently, is the analyzer different from that which he analyzes? Who is the analyzer? Apart from the professional psychologists, psychiatrists, and so on, in this, what we are doing now is to understand the causation of conflict. Is that conflict, the cause, is that to be analyzed? Then if you are analyzing the cause, then who is the analyzer? Right? Is the analyzer different from that which he analyzes? You understand my question? Am I talking to myself? Are you really interested in all this? Yes. Please, don't encourage the speaker. He's not worth it.
Do you find something wrong with your partner? Right? Yet you don't see how whatever you perceive to be wrong with them associated or mirroring the very thing that might be wrong with you. Of course, Krishnamurti was a world-renowned philosopher, and you might not be familiar, or maybe you are familiar in 2025 with the term relationship is a mirror. Maybe you're more familiar with the term when you're pointing at somebody, blaming them, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. So when he's pontificating on, is the analyzer substantively different from that which he analyzes? Many times conflict is heightened because the person blaming can't see any aspect of how they are a co-creator in the experience that they are currently having. Again, conflict is not relational failure. Why is it we can't see the benefits of conflict in relationship? Yes, there are some. They say, well, what, Zoe? A change of perspective. Yeah, that's right. When they lie to me, that changes how I feel about them. No, that's not what I'm saying. Does it reveal a hypersensitivity to when someone lies? And does that transport you back to the past when you were lied to by your father? Every time he said he was going to show up and he didn't show up? Is that related? And is the small lie that maybe your partner committed, right? Did that trigger that memory? Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe in the conflict, there is a revelation about you, a revelation about a wound, an origin story for a wound you have been suppressing, yet allowing that wound to right relationship expectations to gain control over others. Do you see? Conflict is not relational failure. It is emotional composting. The dying of dysfunctional dynamics that no longer serve both parties' movement toward becoming. To fear conflict is to fear your own expansion. Healthy conflict is not learned through technique. It is earned through ego death and sacred exposure. The real question is not, would you like me to? Right? Well, no, I'm not going to go there. I forgot. We have an important caller on the line. I'll get back to that later. I'll put a pin in that thought. Our caller is out of Fayetteville, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina. She was making a good point, and I want to make sure that she is allowed to continue her thought. Go ahead. Please continue to share. 46 years old, African American and Japanese, correct?
Yes, sir. You are correct, Zoe.
All right.
And so when you touched on that point of benefit of conflict, that made me sit in who I am as a person. And I was humbled. So in I guess my early stages of marriage and all this, because I was with my husband for 10 years, my first boyfriend, everything. However, so in that conflict, me being a woman and being very responsible and taking care of many of the bills and everything, I You talked about a change of perspective, right? So me sitting in that and dealing with that, I guess I had an internal conflict with myself because I felt like all the burden was on me.
Why did you feel that way?
Because I felt like I was taking the bulk of the responsibilities financially.
Right. And that could be a heavy burden, totally understand. But do you feel like that contributed to the conflict? Was it building up to the point where you might have been a little bit more judgmental, a little bit more condescending maybe? And if you weren't,
yes,
that's okay too. But if you were, let's address it.
To answer your question, I was. And two, I was sex deprived. So for me, if I could be totally transparent in this.
Sure. No judgment here. Go ahead.
I, at a young age, was introduced to sex as a female. I didn't have penetration or anything like that, but I was molested at a young age. So I was sexually stimulated as a young person. Fast forward to my first boyfriend in this relationship, in my marriage, I equated like a bond or a connection to sexual encounters with this person, my husband. And so even when we would argue, I'd be like, okay, we're under the same roof, we married, and when we sleep in the same bed and we're under the same roof, that's my penis. I'm gonna get my rocks off. That's sex. I'm gonna have sex, and we're gonna do that. However, when we had disagreements, he would withhold sex from me, and he would say that, I'm mad at you. I don't want to have sex with you. And so in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, we're still gonna sleep together. You rubbing up against me at night, I'm rubbing on you. So I'm thinking it's normal, Well, you may not know, but I'm just saying. So I felt like it was normal that we're gonna have sex and everything's gonna be okay. But he told me that, wait a minute, I'm still upset from the disagreement we had at noon before lunch, and I don't want to have sex with you. So I couldn't process that.
And no, that's a real conflict. Like the sex piece is a real conflict. So my question now becomes, did you guys ever seek to go to therapy? Did you guys?
No.
Why not?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Zoe, but before we got married, his father was a pastor. So we did do counseling. But after that, no, we did not. But now that we're divorced, I am in therapy. I am in therapy, and I'm trying to heal from all my stuff from my childhood. And he was abusive during the marriage, our second year of marriage. Wow. He became physically abusive. But, I felt like we were both young. I don't hold a grudge over anything that happened. Moving forward, I felt like, we were both immature and we didn't really know how to process things. But yes, I am in therapy. I'm not sure if he is, but I am.
And let me ask you this question. In therapy, did they ever get around to telling you what your attachment style might be?
We have not made it there yet, Zoe, because I'm not that comfortable discussing like the whole how I became molested and all that whole background. I did say that I was molested, but I not really discussed the history of it.
Right. So you're still processing. You still have work to do. And I totally understand it. But let me just say something to you right now. We applaud you for just having the bravery and the strength to even open up and share that with us, because, you know, you've been through something, like something major. And, you know, coming out of that, there could be some hypervigilance towards, you know, being abused again, or opening up and trusting somebody else. And I totally get it.
And I thank you, because you also touched on sweeping things under the rug, especially as people of color. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, you know, we put things to the side, and, you know, we're ashamed, and you touch on that a lot, and I appreciate you for even addressing that. I thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. I ain't even going to ask you what you did, because you did a thing. You shared. I'm not even going to ask you what you did. I'll say it for you. She brought North Carolina in the building. We appreciate the call. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580. Non-judgmental space. Please understand, you can call in and share whatever you want to share. Ain't nothing but love. Even if you're off topic, it's okay. I loved what she had to say. Call in. 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What about you? Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
the Nubian rain had fallen. I didn't say nothing cause these kids caught my goat. Even pull my coat like a murder that they wrote. So this kid with mouth swaggin' outplays the cloak and dagger. So I got to show boost the martial locks that I am. I could rock a jam, make the world drop camo. Yes, I'm the bad man, and bad men were black. And if it come to dropping bombs, stay with that. Now I can freak, fly, flow, rip up a party, dance all night, and at the end, call the party. You want it out the style that was made from my mom and my dad when I was young. I used to run with a notepad. Then time flew, and somehow I knew that I was bad to the bone. Black prodigy since the age of 20. I could write a rhyme, rip it up and write the next one right on the spot. Sign my name with the dot, diamond D through me a smooth beat. Bronx crowd roar, suck up your whack jam, everybody hit the floor. Okay, it's you, Slim, the hard rock.
Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I have taken a hiatus, a short hiatus from social media this past week because I literally needed a break. Good morning, Kev. Good morning, guys. I needed a break, guys. I just was tapped out. I was exhausted, and getting ready to start shooting in Houston in about a week and a half. So I'm off to Houston in about a week. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, guys. I know, and I didn't even give you guys notices. I just disappeared, right? And sometimes life is like that, right? Like there was just been so much going on. I posted inside my inner circle with my coaches, and I said that, you know, it's like blessings and burdens go hand in hand, you know, and I've talked about that before, that, you know, you could be in the best times of your life and also the worst times of your life. And I've just seen that in different seasons of my life, how things can be going so amazing, but things can also be going to hell in a handbasket at the same time. And thank you, sweetheart. Ads Love says, you look so beautiful, Auntie Rebecca. I miss seeing you. Thank you, sweetie. Look, I just got up. I ain't even done my hair, y'all. I'm looking crazy. I'm down in Texas actually right now this week also. My niece / daughter was going to a makeup training. She got certified as a makeup artist down here in Texas this week. And so I'm down.
She talking to us like we all at Starbucks sharing a frappe latte, mocha chai tea. I don't even know what she talking about. What in the world? I'm listening to y'all like, we don't want to know about your niece getting her nails done. You supposed to be on topic, lady. I think it's Rebecca Lynn Pope. But she didn't have a single gift to give us at all. We're going to revisit that, though. We're going to go back and we're going to listen for the point of why she got on the VOR. I'm sure she has some good stuff. But somebody in the chat, I think it was I'm Staying on Point, was talking about somewhat. Oh, she's online? Oh. Bring I'm Staying on Point up in here. I'm Staying on Point, Long Beach, California is in the building.
Hey, Zoe. Hey,
you were asking such a great question. I was like, yo, we got to talk about it. Please let everyone know what your question was.
So my question was, is being the bigger person a form of control depending on the intent?
Ooh, my goodness. Oh, Lord. The illusion of peace. How being the bigger person is covert narcissism in disguise. Chronic emotional caretaking is a trauma response rooted in fawning. Often misread as maturity, it's actually fear of emotional abandonment disguised as virtue. To avoid conflict in the name of peace is to lie in service of aesthetics. As Nietzsche warns, morality without truth is vanity in sacred drag. False peace is a karmic deflection. In higher consciousness thinking, truth is a higher frequency than harmony. The soul does not evolve through comfort. Studies on relational suppression, Gross, 2002, revealed that long-term avoidance of emotional tension correlates with increased cortisol, chronic inflammation, and deteriorating relational satisfaction. Let's see how far being the bigger person gonna get you. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, you did.
I'm staying on point. You know I love you, child. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, it's just, it reminds me of whether or not it's a female trying to be the bigger person or the male being the bigger person. It's almost like, let me just do this to shut you up.
Ooh. Performative piety? Performative performative morality? Exactly. And it's all spiritual bypassing to try to look like, oh, I am so elevated. You're a liar.
Yes. And an avoider.
And an avoider. Oh, I love you, sister. Guess what you just did?
I brought LBC in the building.
Come on, man. Lamert Park and LBC. Now you know you in trouble. Come on. I appreciate everybody for calling in. Hey, when I come forward, you already know the VOR going to keep this fire lit.
What did I have to do it? Yes, boy. His man, so it don't mean jack to me. He's going. That's how it's supposed to be.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars as the court sets his sentencing for October 3rd, though that date could change if his legal team pushes for an earlier hearing. Judge Submaranian held a remote conference with both sides and ruled again that Diddy will not get bail, saying he does not qualify for exceptions under the Bail Reform Act. Under that law, defendants must prove they are not a flight risk or a danger to the community to be released before sentencing. Prosecutors argued Combs failed to meet that burden, sharing letters from two witnesses expressing concerns about their safety if he is released. One of those letters came from Cassie Ventura's attorney, Doug Wigder.
We're hopeful that ultimately he receives a substantial sentence for what he's done.
Outside of the courthouse, Combs supporters were disappointed but calm as the judge explained that the prosecution cited the correct section of the Bail Reform Act to keep Diddy in custody until sentencing. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Tired of feeling alone in your job search? With just one connection, you can find endless job opportunities. That connection is Express Employment Professionals. Don't go it alone. Visit expresspros.com to find the location nearest you. That's expresspros.com.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it! Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Boo. See how they try to pin it on me. And if the cat fit, pin it on me. Got love in the hood, they been waiting for me. Hey, I'm dropping down, I'm down. I got about $1 million on me. Come for the ride, man, come on. Yeah. Come for the ride, on my come on. New endeavors, we do whatever, we glue the deficit. See you the sideline, come on, come on. Look, see how we go back. Digging the soul out the come on, come on. Find a way to escape, come on. On my journey, don't turn me into an ape, come on. Melanie with my asparagus. I do the thing, getting gong, energy, ginseng, my booju button time. Flow. You ain't with me, you gone rotten. Oh, Bobby, did you do bang up your head? Bang, bang. Boom, 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 boom. I beat the set and say, hey, make sure you know, don't ever go against me. You could end up a victim for a call out the next play. Hey, see how they try to pin it on me.
Dear Dr. Joe, you will never believe what happened to me.
Tell me.
I never get tired of hearing these stories.
I will tell you, but firstly, it's great to see you again and warmly welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So, what I wanted to start with today is the topic of change. I know that's a topic you know a lot about. So my first question to you is, why do we have the need to procrastinate when we know that the change is what is doing the work for us?
Well, I think it's two reasons. First reason is change is inconvenient. It's very inconvenient to break, number two, so many hardwired beliefs that we have about ourselves, habits that we live by every day, and to overcome some emotions that keep us in the past. So the programs that we have by thinking the same way, acting the same way, feeling the same way, really become part of our biology, and all of that is the familiar, all of that is the known. So it's quite convenient to say, I'm going to change tomorrow, or I'm going to change in the new year, or I'm just going to finish this and then I'll change. And I think when we say that, we'll do it tomorrow, we're in a program. And so I believe that now is the new later. Like, if not now, when? And that's what this work is about. That's why we run the week-long retreats, because it's really an opportunity for people to retreat from their lives and to remove the constant stimulation in their external environment that reminds them of who they think they are as a personality, how they think, how they act, and how they feel in their life on a regular basis. Because on a more probable than not basis, it's the environment that's controlling how they're feeling, how they're thinking, how they're acting. So the retreating is a process where people can get acquainted and familiar with knowledge and information again, and remind them that they actually do create their life, and that they have to start thinking differently, that they have to start acting differently, they have to start feeling differently. And give them the tools during that week to challenge them when they come up against, I can't, I don't believe I can heal, it's too hard, I'm not a good meditator, I'm a failure, whatever that thought is that's running behind the scenes of their awareness. Now,
individuation, self-realization, self-actualization, these are all tools to alchemize dukkha. Dukkha, from the Buddhist concept, right, means suffering, right, disappointment, right, unsatisfactoriness, discomfort. In Buddhism, dukkha is a core concept, often translated as suffering, unsatisfactoriness, or discomfort. It represents the inherent imperfection and impermanence of all conditioned existence, right? And is one of the three marks of existence. Dukkha isn't just about pain and misery, but also includes the unsatisfactoriness of pleasurable experiences, as they are temporary and ultimately lead to dissatisfaction when they end. Dukkha, dukkha. This refers to the obvious forms of suffering like physical pain, illness, and emotional distress, mental and emotional distress, right? What does that have to do with conflict? Well, when we run from conflict, we actually increase dukkha. Do you see the impermanence of your escape? You may have an escape for a moment. I keep coming back to this point. You can alchemize any negative situation in your life. You have the power to do it. Sure, you can go to a therapist. Let's start it there. Let's get the individuation thing happening. You can find out your attachment style. You can find out how your attachment style, this conditioning, has caused you to manipulate if it's insecure, right? All insecure attachments are masters of manipulation because they didn't get what they were supposed to get when they were children. So their adult relationships are about manipulating their partners into giving them what they didn't get when they were kids. Okay? So dukkha will lead to more conflict. Conflict has a purpose. It is a puzzle that must be solved internally. Do you see? Healthy conflict. How do we get to that point? When we stop judging conflict as coming empty-handed. All conflict comes with gifts. Gifts of revelation. Self-revelation. You see? My niece is on the line. Let's get her in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, I hope people are seeing why I am withholding my vote, because these topics have been fire, man. Fire.
The spiritual meaning of relationship is crazy, right?
It is. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. And I wanted to say too, I really loved how you postured it, being the bigger person. So I wanted to address one of the comments Jack made in the chat. And he says, what about having to be the bigger person to keep from self-destructing? He said, that's not fake to me. Right. And it kind of got me thinking, like, you think about, like, when people are in the ring and fighting, like, you have weight classes, right? Mm-hmm. There are no bigger person. There's no bigger person in the ring, right? You might have a faster person, but nobody's that much bigger or greater than the other. They're in the same weight class, right? So I feel like in our relationships, we're on equal footing in that same way as well. We like to posture ourselves as the bigger person because there's a certain level of moral superiority, high ground, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like at the end of the day, like, to me, I don't believe that really exists. And if you think about it, when people suggest you should be the bigger person, right, they're normally outside of your conflict. So think about it, it's relative to them viewing you. Like, something being bigger than you is relative to how the size that you are. So if something's bigger than you, that's because that's how you see it. That's your perception. But maybe it's not. Maybe you guys are actually on the same level, same weight. Mm-hmm. And so to me, but I also feel like bigger is not always better either. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes bigger is just that. It's just bigger.
Wait.
It's not better.
Don't go nowhere. Stay right there, because you cooking. We going to keep you cooking for a little bit longer when we come forward. More from Houston, Texas, and my niece.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey, it's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Are you tired of stains stealing your shine? California Cleaners is where you go to rescue your wardrobe. They don't just clean, they elevate. Hand washing, crisp laundry, and precise alterations, all while keeping your wallet happy. Listen, all you gotta do is connect with them in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Whether it's grass-stained jeans, silk that's seen better days, or a hemline emergency before date night, you're on deck with California Cleaners, located at 1326 North La Brea Avenue, Inglewood, California.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-798-3399. That's 800-798-3399. 800-798-3399.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. I do not consider myself a fan of Sean Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love, Brother Love Combs. But one doesn't have to be a fan to acknowledge a simple truth about his recent jury trial. I think the primary reason he was acquitted of those sex trafficking and RICO charges is because he was overcharged in the first place. Mine is not to opine on his guilt or innocence on any of the charges the feds brought against him. But But I predicted months ago that he would beat the most serious charges because, as usual, prosecutors have a really bad habit of overcharging black men. Dave Chappelle said it best, Puffy is in a RICO case all by himself, man. Hilarious and arresting at the same time. When prosecutors put a target on the backs of black men, they throw everything at them just to see what sticks. And too often, just like in the Puffy case at the very end, they move to dismiss some of the charges and then double down on the ones they think they can win. It's racist and it's wrong, and somebody ought to say so. I think I just did. Not for the benefit of Puffy, but on behalf of all the other black men who have been and sadly will be woefully overcharged in the future. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
You want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Let's take them back. Coming up, I was confused. My mama kissing a girl. Confusion occurs coming up in the cold world. Daddy ain't around, probably out committing felonies. My favorite rapper used to sing, check out my melody. I wanna live good, so shit, I sell dope for a 4-finger ring. One of them gold ropes. Nana told me if I pass, I get a sheepskin coat. If I can move a few packs, I get the hat. Now that'd be dope. Tossed and turned in my sleep that night. Woke up the next morning, stole my bike. Different day, same shit, nothing good in the hood. I run away from this bitch and never come back if I could. Needed to love it, the underdogs on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop.
Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me.
Needed to love it, the underdogs on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop.
Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me. On the grill of my low rider, guns on both sides, right above the gold wires.
What is constructive conflict? If you've ever been in a situation where disagreements seem to be the norm, you might have wondered if there's a way to make those conflicts work for you rather than against you. Let's explore what constructive conflict is and how it can be a powerful tool for growth and collaboration. Constructive conflict is not about avoiding disagreements. It's about embracing them in a way that leads to positive outcomes. It's a type of conflict where participants engage in respectful and open communication to understand each other's perspectives and work towards the best possible solution. Imagine a team meeting where members have different opinions on how to prioritize tasks for an upcoming project. Instead of letting the conversation turn into frustration, the leader encourages everyone to speak up and listen actively. By doing this, the team combines their ideas to create a balanced plan that strengthens their relationship and resolves the conflict. Key to
I love the fire. We've been on fire just for years now. I was going to say for weeks, but it's been years. Let me get my niece back in here to get her final thought because she was cooking. She was talking about this being the bigger person piece, and it's an ongoing discussion here in the chat, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it as well. Go ahead, niece.
Yes, I was going to say, I mean, to me, it's like a myth. I don't think it's real. And I think, two things that come up for me are like the value of things and also, like you said, the purpose, right? So when we're talking about assessing value, if I don't see the value in myself, I can't accurately assess the value of anything else. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, when you're talking about the purpose in terms of conflict, if I'm addicted to, or I shouldn't say addicted to, but maybe adjusted or conditioned to like be okay with being in a fraudulent state of peace, then, I mean, again, the whole thing to me kind of falls apart. I'm not going to really understand conflict because I don't even know what peace is. Right? Like, I have no idea. It's like you said, the difference between peace versus quiet.
Right.
Like, if I'm used to quiet, then conflict is going to feel like an attack. I won't understand that you can actually have conflicts and overcome things in a healthy way. And I say this as someone who comes from a family who has explosive arguments and conflicts, but we also sweep things under the rug, so we do both.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's
But
crazy.
that's all I gotta say.
Niecy, hey, guess what you just did, baby girl?
All right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. They're on the board. Let me just address my guy, Jack Brazen, in the chat. His initial post was, what if, being the bigger person, is out of you not losing control or you not, doing something, losing your cool. And I paraphrase. Let me just say, that's a crutch, right? If you got to be the bigger person in order to self-regulate, you're in trouble. Right? Regulate your emotions. Let me be the bigger person so I don't lose my... No. That's a device. That's a tactic. And at some point, I guess if you're still trying to grow, if you're still trying to evolve, you want to take those psychological training wheels off. You want to be able to transcend that. Like I said, any difficulty in your life can be alchemized, right? Nobody ever taught us that. Nobody ever taught us every conflict can be alchemized and turned into something meaningful, something that can elevate our consciousness. We've just been taught to run from conflict. And I'm not saying be conflictual when you confront conflict. I'm saying learn, adapt, adjust, right? Evolve your tactics for dealing with conflict. Because in intimate relationships, you're going to have to get some tools. You're going to have to get some tools so you can manage conflict better. And then a lot of that has to do with the language we use. Language as a weapon, how the words you choose in conflict distort reality and fracture time. Here's the psychological insight. Labeling someone during conflicts locks them into a cognitive bias loop. Language becomes a neurosemantic prison that your mind then defends as truth. According to Alfred Korzybski's General Semantics, the map is not the territory. Our words are not reality, only abstractions of reality that fractures our ability to witness truth in real time. Can you imagine getting locked in a linguistic prison that someone poorly articulated about you? Wow. Do you see how conflict gets legs? You internalize what they said about you, and they misspoke about you because they didn't have the words or the linguistic acumen to say it truthfully or accurately. The map is not the territory. The word is not the reality. So just because somebody said something condescending, disrespectful, or dismissive about you and your experience doesn't mean you should automatically internalize that. But here's the flip side. What if you hold them in high regards? You're going to do it anyway, right? Language carries frequencies, right? Words are vibrational codes. When spoken unconsciously, they mutate the energy field and reinforce duality, fracturing oneness into performance, right? The clinical empirical insight here. Studies on E' and NVC, nonviolent communication, shows significant de-escalation in conflict when descriptive first-person language is used instead of evaluative or accusatory speech. How many of us are guilty of that? Emotional entanglement. When you're arguing with the past, not the person. The amygdala hijack ensures your brain confuses the present person with a past predator. You're not arguing with your partner, you're reliving your father's neglect or your mother's silence. Do you see? We're not looking at conflict correctly. We're looking at our partner to be the answer for the question our parents buried in our spirit. Do you see? So the onus is on them to be perfect. The onus is on them to show up right. The onus is on them to not make a mistake. What if our fear of conflict arises from aggression? What if our fear of conflict arises not from aggression, but from the terror of losing the illusion of harmony we were conditioned to protect? Could your craving for peace in a relationship be a spiritual bypass of your own emotional avoidance? What are the unspoken contracts you silently consent to when you avoid conflict? Who benefits when you mistake your silence for maturity and your compliance for spiritual enlightenment? When you say, I don't want to argue, do you mean I don't want to feel? If sacred conflict is a teacher, what curriculum have you refused to enroll in? Might the people who trigger you be sacred mirrors sent to purify your capacity for presence? Can conflict exist without an ego to defend? Oh, Lord. How does your nervous system interpret disagreement as danger or as data? What if the wound activated in conflict is not a flaw, but a portal? Sheesh. Yeah. Is it possible to meet another human being without referencing your memory? Can you meet somebody without... Do you listen to understand, or do you listen to confirm what you fear? Ugh. Do you listen to understand, or do you listen to confirm what you fear? Do you listen to understand, or do you listen to confirm what you fear? Could your need to be right in conflict be a disguised plea to be seen? When you correct your partner, are you loving them or managing your discomfort with their difference? What might your arguments be saying that your words cannot? Man, listen. I'm the voice of reason. My job is to start the conversation. Your job is to finish it. Listen, we'll be back with the final episode in our spiritual series tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's conversation. I'll be back with another slapper.
Scared to look, you shook, cause ain't no such things as halfway crooks. They never around when the beef cooks in my part of town. It's similar to Vietnam. Now we all grown up and old and be on the cops' control. They better have the riot gear ready, trying to back me and get rock steady. Bada bada one double, I touch you and leave you with not much to go home with. My skin is thick, cause I'll be up in the mix of action.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City just hit a record low for shooting victims, under 400 in the first half of the year, down 24% from last